Hello, and welcome everybody to the Xbox International Airline. We are now getting ready for flight 27. Yeah. But before I introduce our flight crew, chat, how are you all doing? Hope you are doing awesome, fantastic, and are ready to be amazed. So everybody, please be seated and fasten your seatbelts because, as always, we get wild, crazy, and sometimes sexy. Introducing first, the man who has been posting pictures all over Twitter showing his love for his new smoker grill. This man loves his smoker grill more than his early teen crushes, which were Samantha Fox, Sherry Appleby, Amy Jo Johnson. I mean, really, we all love that Pink Ranger. Seriously, she was my crush too. I agree with him right there. And Catherine Hegel, our handsome captain, Mr. Silent Cypher. How are you doing today, sir?
You know, Crazy, I'm doing great. I'll tell you the truth. I did not realize what you were doing when you asked me about that yesterday, and I'm happy you utilized that information the way you did.
See.
Well played, sir. No, I'm great. You know, it's another week. We're halfway through the work week. I got cool work news and stuff. So you know, it's been a good work week so far. It's been a good week in general. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about some gaming, so let's get into it.
All right. Yeah, you got some exciting stuff to talk about today. I mean, seriously, we are pumped. And I showed it this morning that I am really pumped. So now, introducing now, the man with the really bad jokes. I mean, seriously, I have never heard such a bad joke like the who-ass joke, dear Lord. The man who last episode literally broke a record on something he had to do. Mr. Sour, which your joke blows. How are you doing, sir, today?
I'm doing great. Regarding the joke, you know it's funny. It wasn't funny for you because it was regarding you.
See? It was great.
See, it was a great joke. Anyway, yes, I'm doing great. Been a little bit busy with the family back from vacation, and I've been working. Finally, this week, this Saturday, my first video from Sour Blow 18 YouTube channel is coming out. It's just an introduction video, but after that, you know, slowly some content's gonna be trickling in, and you know, excited for Wednesday, my favorite day of the week. Don't tell my wife.
I'm gonna call her. Hey, I have her on WhatsApp. Let me give her a call.
Change your sound.
Let's see if a chancleta comes out flying from the other corner right now. Can you imagine? I mean, literally, that would be another world record right there. Chancleta from by. Last but not least, the man known to be God Louis to his XBI panel members, and after tonight, he will become He Louis. The man who got Twitter pumped up more than Arnie Schwarzenegger. The man who tonight is going to show the Team XBI by lifting the bed, showing them he has the power. The crazy one. Louis, how am I doing today? How am I doing today? Well, today, it's been a long day. I have fun, and these days it's been pretty cool. Yeah, and basically working out these intros and all this stuff, and lifting up that bed, and you guys teasing me all day about it. I literally am going to show you guys that I can actually lift this bed, this heavy baby right here. When I will do it, you just will know, and I'll tell y'all when I will show it. So let me check real quick on our passengers before we start commencing our flight. So let's see who's here today. We start with there's Sour, which is Jokes Blow. How are you doing? Planetos Incorporated, how are you doing? Welcome to the show, brother. Remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, also hit that bell, baby. The Fifth Horseman, hello, brother. Happy to see you here. Barely making rent like always every single week, sir. Hello, hello, hello. What's up? Who else is in here? Mr. Grasso. My gamer score on this show is 26,000 now. I'm going for 27,000 tonight. Seriously? Your gamer score on this show? Oh, that's pretty cool, man. That's awesome.
He doesn't even get it.
No, I actually don't get it. What does it mean by that, though?
Okay, every time you watch the show, at the end, in the outro, you get 1,000 gamers score for watching the show. But it's, Xbox International outro. So he has. That means that he has watched every single episode, which I'm very grateful. Tony Grasso is the best, man.
Okay.
Using a new hashtag. It's Blind Louie also.
Blind Louie. Oh God. Hey, it's Timmy. How's it going, man?
Oh, you're gonna pick on me. Oh, Timmy's here. Hello, it's Timmy. What's up, Timmy? And my shovel brother, Starshan. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, brother? Happy to see you here, my shovel brother. So now it's time for Mr. Sourglow to give us the flight itinerary. Go for it, brother.
Okay, well, for the flight itinerary, basically some of the things we're going to cover this week. This show, we're going to cover a little bit of microtransaction, some Skate 4. We're going to cover some Activision Blizzard information, which pretty interesting. And there's a huge news going around, the whole thing. Well, after the deal is done with Activision Blizzard, the possible next purchase for Microsoft could be actually Netflix, which is insane. And I also posted a picture. I don't know if you have seen it in Twitter with, Xbox being, after this acquisition is done, being the possible, home for Mascots. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because I saw the image actually had nice traction. So I thought it would be a very interesting, topic and much more. We're going to cover much more, but that's just some of the information we're going to cover. So,
but you forgot one mascot, though.
What do you mean?
You forgot me.
You're not an Xbox mascot. Anyway, to our captain with the flight announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Sour has turned on the subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Please stow your food and beverages next to your desk, underneath the seat, in front of you, or to the side of you. Please take your seat, fasten your seatbelt. Also make sure that you have hit that notification bell. We gently remind you that smoking and drinking are not prohibited on this flight. However, conversation about lifting blow-up mattress beds is strictly prohibited. We're looking at you, Crazy. If you have any questions about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight panelists. Thank you. Back to you, Crazy.
So, while we're doing takeoff right now, guys, what have you guys been playing? Let's start with you, Sourblood. What have you been playing this past week, brother?
Oh, man. Well, starting last weekend, Friday, when we did our Friday community night, which everyone could join us every Friday in Twitch. We stream and we play some games. We started by playing a game called Academy Escape or Escape Academy.
Yeah.
And
Escape Academy.
And to be honest, I just thought it was cool to try it out. And honestly, it did surprise me. It was pretty interesting. It's doing some escape rooms and you work together as a team. I think the good thing is that it allows you to individually like look for different clues and work together, try to put the pieces together to try to escape each rooms and stuff. I think we did like 3 or 4 rooms, and that was only chapter 1, like the introduction or something like that. But it was very challenging, but at the same time it was actually fun. And then after that we jumped into some Fall Guys. And then yesterday I couldn't wait and I jumped into Hot Wheels Forza Hot Wheels DLC,
Yeah.
which I play some with Silent, and probably Silent will talk about a little bit his experience. But yes, highly recommended if you wanna, if you like challenges, if you like stuff. Escape Academy, I gotta give it some love because I know it's a game that might just fall under the radar. Unlike of course, everyone's gonna talk about Hot Wheels DLC, but yes, that's what I played this week.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How about you, brother Cipher? What have you been playing this past week?
Right. So yeah, like Sour was saying, we ended up playing some of that Escape Academy, which again I do want to highlight is on Game Pass. So there's no excuse to not give it a shot real quick. It's fun. It's fun. We will both agree that the controls were a little janky.
Yeah.
Took a little getting used to initially. There's definitely some things that could have been tweaked, but that being said, like the idea of the escape room stuff, and sometimes I noticed, especially, we overcomplicated things, like absolutely overcomplicated things, and it was great. Like it was a fun experience. I will say that Sour locked us into, I think it was the third challenge on accident and made us suffer for 16 minutes, and we finally figured it out at the very last second.
Yeah.
dude.
But we literally, like, we just missed it. So Sour killed us in a room of gas because he accidentally clicked the button preemptively.
Yep.
Yes.
Which, it happens, I guess, right?
Crazy can't talk because Crazy ran away from it.
Yeah, Crazy wasn't even there. You see,
I can't talk.
we tried to, make sure that we had a well-rounded team for this escape.
Yep.
And our fearless superstar
Yep.
just could not be found. I think he actually left with the jewelry. He bounced out of that escape room and was like, "I'm out. You're on your own." So it was up to Sour and I to hold the fort. But it's good. But besides that, I have been playing some Power Wash Simulator.
Oh wow.
Which is absolutely fantastic. I see people talking about it a little bit in the chat, and it's great. Like I let my OCD flag fly so hard in that game. And it's amazing. Like you just sit there cleaning dirt off of things. And if that sounds, like a real mundane task, it is. But it's so refreshing and so pleasant. Like just cleaning things. You wouldn't think you'd care. And yet, like even when I was done with it, I actually wanted to clean some stuff up around the house afterwards. So I guess maybe it gave a positive effect in the process.
I'm sure your wife like, hey, you don't want to play more Power Wash Simulator?
My wife came in while I was sitting there playing that. And she's like, "Hey, what have you been doing?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I went outside and I washed the car and I cleaned off the concrete and blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "You did? It's like 100+ degrees outside. What are you doing?" And I was like, no, on the video game right here. And she looked at it and she was like, "Oh, honey. Oh." Like, when you're a kid, right? Sometimes your parents pull the, "I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed." And I feel like that was a moment that my wife and I just had this last week while I was playing that game. But again, it's great. And if you haven't played it yet, play it. But the very last thing, and sorry, I'll make this quick, is the Hot Wheels expansion for Forza. And I had a really good time with that yesterday. Shout out to all the folks we ended up playing with. We ended up having we had Paul in there, Paul AFC. We had Steel Rain playing with us for a little bit, which was a lot of fun. It was really good times. Like, I'm glad that we got a group of folks together. We got to play around with it. Yeah, I can't wait to play more. I mean, visually, that game is stunning.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Again and again. Every time I play that game, it just looks so good. And I feel like they've nailed the feel of Hot Wheels again, just like they did in, number 3? It's great to see. So, anyways, that is it. Louis, back on to you, buddy.
Yeah, what have you been playing?
Oh man, what have I been playing? I've been playing Elden Ring, trying to beat Elden Ring, and just working really hard on it. And from Mr. Dark's referation, I mean, he told me it's not referation. No, what was it? Dark told me like to buy the Terminator Resistance game, so I did buy it, and I started playing it for a little bit. Just started playing for a little bit, and I was like, let me let this go, because then I'm not gonna beat Elden Ring. But the Terminator thing has got me pumped up. I mean, it's pretty cool. The Terminator Resistance game, it's a pretty good game. And also yesterday I got on. I got home early, got on, and played with the guys with Paul, and who else was on there? It was Paul, Sestef, Berserk Infinite Umbra. Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's right.
yeah, I literally got on and caught up with the guys yesterday to play a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, last Friday, work got in between. That's why. But that's another.
I heard we did community shifts. You jumped in for the first shift. I jumped in for the second.
For the second,
shift.
yeah.
Sauer was there to hang out with Steel for the third.
Yes.
So.
But either way, like you said, the Hot Wheel thing is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It was pretty cool experience. But yeah, we gotta get that, and I think this Friday we should play it, shouldn't we? As community game now, we should have some little bit of fun with that, because I know Silent Cypher would love that.
I would absolutely love it. Oh, sorry, crazy. I was just going to say real quick, because you mentioned Terminator Resistance, and I started looking into this, but I didn't find anything. Is that one backwards compatible, or you just playing that elsewhere?
No, it's on the Xbox. It actually has got it released, I think it was last year, 2 years ago. Let me check.
Okay.
Terminator Resistance.
So that would have been just a Xbox One game.
It came out for Steam first, and then it came out for console. It came out in 2019. I think it came out for Steam, and then later on it released on console. I think it was 2020. I kind of got lost by my dates, but it got a good score. It got a 9 out of 10 in Steam and 4.3 out of GOG.com to 5.
Okay,
so it's
sorry.
It's a good game.
Sorry to interrupt you on that one. I was looking at it, and I was trying to find some of those games after we watched the trailers. So.
Okay, 2 quick things before we move on. Okay, first thing, for community night, I think we had set for this week. We're gonna again do like 1 or 2 rooms till people come in of Escape Academy, and then we're definitely gonna jump into Horizon Hot Wheel. I mean, it's this is the week where we gonna explode. But then the following week, we can jump into any other game. After that, we're gonna continue to do a little bit of escape room until we get either bored or until we finish it, and then we jump into whatever game and we play till till we just get tired or we gotta go to sleep. And the second thing is, real quick, I just noticed I don't usually do this, but we do have 390 subscribers. We only need 10 more. So for everyone in the chat, if you may please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Share the stream, so we can hopefully get to that 400. We'll be grateful. Yeah.
We only need 9 more. Actually, we're at 391, buddy.
Nice.
It'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, like Sauer said, we don't talk about it super often, but it would be awesome to hit another one of those milestones. Yeah. Obviously, we're still very much a young podcast in the scheme of things. But, the more we grow on that, the more we can continue to bring you cooler content and stuff like that and continue to expand as we go. So,
Yes, sir. So now we are done with the takeoff, and now we're at the climb, and it's time for me to feed the appetizers. Yeah. Woo! Let's go. In-flight appetizers consist of quick news where we will have 2 minutes for each topic, which if you get past the 2-minute mark, I will interrupt you and go to the next person. So this is how I will time your 2 minutes. I will use my beautiful and awesome. Wait, where is it now? Uh-oh. Give me a chance, guys. Hey, I lost it. Oh, here it is. Wait. Aww. All right, let me just go grab the hat while I find it because I don't know where it went. Here's the hat where I got the numbers I'm gonna pick. And seriously, where did it go? Okay, good job, Louis. I guess everything fell to the floor, but either way, I'll pick them up in a minute. Where did it go though? The timer. Oh
that's
well.
okay. We can just go off the clock.
We just go off the clock, so I can look for the timer. Well, I was gonna grab my cell phone and do it, but either way, I can't find the timer. Give me a second, guys. Numbers fell. So since the numbers fell, I'm just gonna shake them a little bit. Shake what's in the hat real quick. Let me shake that hat. There you go. That's the song. All right, let's pick up one right here. Oh. Let's see which number it is, baby. Jesus, I guess I'm pretty good at folding, huh? At least, cause dang, I fold too well. Which is number 2. Number 2 is Lord of the Rings Golem trailer revealed. Finally, some gameplay on the Lord of the Rings Golem. I would really love to hear your thoughts on that trailer. Let's start with you, Salvo.
Well, from what I've seen from the game, I think the game has some potential, but I also think at the same time that maybe they're not doing the right marketing, and this is where I go with it. The gameplay reminded me a little bit of Plague's Tale, where you kind of like you move, like it has a lot of like hiding and doing different things, which is pretty cool and pretty interesting. And even though the character is a very popular character, but at the same time is a popular character not in a good way. So I think the best way to market this game is actually to market it with more gameplay, and I think they didn't show enough gameplay. I also think the studio is not, such a recognized studio. So just on the name of the character and the name of the studio, I think is not good enough. But from what I've seen, it looks pretty interesting. I'm very intrigued from the game, and the game might come out to be a great game. But you got to show me that, because unfortunately you're not that big of a studio, or the character is not that appealing to the masses, even though you hear the voice and you recognize the character right away, but it's not a character that you really want to play with. But I'll see. I'm very intrigued. So let's see what comes out of this game.
All right, awesome. And can I go first before you, Silent, so I can give out an
Go
idea?
ahead.
All right. Okay, this is my thought when I saw the trailer. I mean, I'm gonna give you an idea on something. Maybe I saw the trailer, and I'm telling you, I'm a big fan of the Lord of the Rings saga that came out for Xbox, so the Shadow of Mordor stuff, right? I'm a big fan of that. I mean, I love Part 1. I can literally put in the CD and just go into the forest and just pick up fights, and just to do that quick instant kill thing he does, which I love it to death. I just love how it sounds and how it plays and everything. I mean, for me, that is the best sword fight gameplay of them all. But the thing is, when I saw this Golem thing, I was like, why did these guys focus on this? I mean, I would have done it. I mean, this is my point of view, though. I would have done. I don't know. I think it could be a good game, but this is what I would have done. I would have done a new Mordor game or something like that, or a new Lord of the Rings game, and add that like a DLC, see how it goes before I go out and make a game of Golem. Those are my thoughts on that thing. I mean, seriously, that's what I saw. I'm not as hyped because it's Goldum, and Goldum is pretty much for me like the Jar Jar Binks of Lord of the Rings. You know who Jar Jar Binks is, right? From Star Wars. Yeah, of course, you guys know who Jar Jar Binks. But that's how I see Goldum as Jar Jar Binks. So let's see how
Okay,
it goes.
real quick,
Let's see how it goes.
crazy.
What's
This
up?
is a small studio, and they probably didn't get the right to do
Okay,
whatever they
okay,
want. So that's probably why they just got Golem. They're probably happy
okay.
enough that they got Golem. So
Oh no, no,
just
I'm not.
throwing that
I'm
out.
not. I'm not criticizing them or anything. I'm just saying I would have just I would have grabbed like make a
Yeah, but
shadow mortar and just add something. Make add like a
maybe,
DLC or something.
but
To see how it goes
maybe
before
that's
you
not the
put a lot of
option
effort into.
for them. But yeah,
All
I
right, all
get
right,
your point.
cool. You get my point. All right, all right. So how about you, Sam? What do you think? So here we go. I finally found the timer. Let's go. You are on the clock.
Yeah, so in regards to this, I am excited about the fact that we've got another stealth genre game coming. Anymore, there's really not a lot of them out there. I know obviously we're gonna have Splinter Cell come back over time. Um, anything that we can get to have some more stealth games. Personally, I always really enjoyed them. It's a bummer that we've seen it kind of dwindle over time, especially with like Metal Gear Solid falling to the wayside. Like the other thing is one that was actually starting to come into play was Styx. That game had promising stealth, and when I see this, I see maybe the promise of some good stealth. However, I've never been a real Lord of the Rings fan. Not been a big fan of it. Now I enjoyed the Shadow Mordor games and stuff, so like I'll give it a shot. But my Precious, all that stuff. Like I feel like Clerks 2, and maybe I'll just attach the link later on as like a separate tweet. But I feel like Clerks 2 explained the Lord of the Rings movies in the best way possible. For me, just a lot of walking, and the characters. Take it or leave it. I know a lot of people really enjoy it, but for me, I'll try it for the stealth, but for the characters, I'm not there for the character. If they paid a whole bunch of extra money to try and get additional rights for other characters and stuff, wouldn't have really done anything for me. So if you make a solid stealth game, that's all I care about. It could be called Peppa Pig's Stealth Adventure, and I would be fine with it. I don't need it to be Lord of the Rings themed. Just give me a good stealth game, for Christ's sake.
All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now it's time for again to shake that head. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shake that head, and I actually picked up all the numbers that fell, which is weird. Let's see which number we're getting right now. Let's go. That's the theme from Full Throttle, just in case, guys. You ever played that game? It's pretty cool. We got number 9. Oh, number 9 is. Oh, this is a hard subject though, but you gotta go through it. Platinum Games basically is looking to get funded. I guess they have projects and they approach Microsoft for funding. What are your thoughts? And let's start with the silent one.
Oh, sweet criminy. Okay, you ready? You got the timer ready?
All right, let's get it ready. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go! It's going.
Man, this reminds me of being in high school and seeing the rich kids going to daddy to try and buy like a Hummer H2 and stuff like that, being like, but it'll make everything better and I'll get a better job and blah blah blah. I feel like we've seen this story a couple times, right? Like, okay, hey, we're gonna make you this fancy dragon game. Oh, we couldn't, deliver on it. And then constantly for the last little while, they keep popping out there into the news and being like, hey, Microsoft, we can make you that game now. Like, I was thinking, like, we got our stuff in order. We're going to make this happen now. 100% Scouts promise we will make this game. It'll be amazing. Promise. Just give us some more money, right? Like, what do you have to lose if you give us some more money? Surely we're going to get you a game this time. Let's disregard how much time we wasted of yours with Scalebound. but we're totally going to make you a game this time, and it's going to work out. Pinky swear, promise. I think it's ridiculous. I think begging on social media like that is gross. I don't think it's tactful. I think, it's great if they want to get involved with someone, if they want to get hooked in with one of the companies. That's great. But have some social media tact when you're doing these things. Have a conversation with Phil. Contact Phil directly. Have him come out there with you. Bring Matt Booty. Bring the whole crew. Work it out in person. Don't beg for money online. It's gross. I'm sorry. Like, some people will get triggered on that one, but I'm sorry. It just does not look good the way that they keep approaching this every time that they get an opportunity. That's all I got.
All right. How about you, Sour Blow? Hold on. Give me a second. There you go. Let's stop this real quick. Go, Sour Blow!
Okay, well, on my end, I think, they did recognize that it was their mistake. And, I'm not the type that, if it was my money, I would probably not invest in them. However, I think Microsoft has so much money that, Platinum Games won't really hurt them if they want to, try them out for another project. It seems like they really are sorry, and they really want to try to redeem themselves, and they want to prove that, they can really do a good job if they have the money. I'll say, Xbox should just, and Microsoft should just give them a try and just this time be straightforward with them and be like, listen, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna prove to me. You gotta prove to me several times in order for me to keep building that relationship. Like, if let's say I'm gonna fund this project, depending on how it goes, I might fund the next project, and then depending on how that project goes, I might fund the next one. But whenever you make a mistake, it's this relationship is all over. And for them, for Microsoft, it's just like losing some sense. It's not really like they're gonna lose that much money. And I guess they don't got much to lose in that case. And supposedly they have a good chunk of Scalebound already done, and they just need a finisher. Maybe that could be the first project. Let's see what you got done, and let's see if you can finish this game. And I don't know. I wouldn't mind them giving them a try. And at the end of the day, Microsoft wants to reach Japan and all that market, so maybe
Time's up. Time's up.
Can I add one small thing?
Go for it, buddy.
Sour, if you hired a company to come in and do your carpets and they charged you a bunch of money and they did a really crappy job and they didn't finish the project, would you want them back?
No, but that's me. That's not my money. That's why I don't care.
if you had a ton of money, would you just shrug that off and be like, nah, it's fine, it was pocket change? Or would you still be upset?
Hey, not my money. All I care about is games.
I don't even care about games, but okay. Let me give you my thoughts on it. I got my 2 minutes started and going over. See if you guys see it. 2 minutes are starting right now. Okay. Sour. So you're basically telling me that they should go fund them. Okay, I mean, I'll be honest with you. They could probably do make a great Scalebound games. I do agree with you there. They probably could make it with Microsoft watching them and see how they're doing. But here is something though, Sour Blow. When that happened, Microsoft took that backlash for 4 years. 4 years, 4 or 5 years, they've been taking that backlash. They were saying, hey, Microsoft, this is your fault. This game never came out. They were saying Microsoft, and they were taking that fall until the other day he came by and said that it was his fault that they couldn't complete the game. But I'm telling you, 5 years later, I mean, when that happened right there, They should have just came out forward and say, "Hey, man, this is our fault." And then I'll say, "Okay, you guys admit it. That's pretty cool." And if now they're looking for that, I'll be like, "Hey, give them another chance because they admitted right away." But seriously, you know, now I'm a little shaky because last game they made, they didn't do as great. I mean, it was a really bad game. It was just downfall bad, and I think it was for PlayStation. It could be, was it for Play? I think it was called Babylon. Was it?
Yeah, yeah,
Last game they made.
yeah,
They did really bad. They did really bad. So I don't know what's going on there, but
yeah.
yeah,
They're like a
it's kind
hit
of
or
weird.
miss.
Yeah. They're
Sometimes,
like a hit or miss.
yeah,
They make a good one, then they make a bad one. Yeah,
yeah,
I know, but if they but like I said, Microsoft pulled the plug in 2016 or 2017. I forgot when it was, but seriously, they did not come out until 5 years later and say, "Hey, it was our fault. This and
yeah.
this
But
and that." That was just bad.
I
That
also
was just bad.
think it's different teams. Like like they change leadership. I mean, that's what I meant.
Either way, though, it's still bad. It's still bad. If you do something bad, admit it, so that way the other doesn't take the backlash.
All
It's
right, all
just
right.
like when a company
Yeah.
does really bad and then changes their
Yeah.
name as to try and get rid of the
Yeah.
stink that
Yeah.
was involved with them.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying is like, maybe they'll still do it anyways. They would like to have stuff from the Asian like game side of things. They need more Japanese, more Chinese, more games in general. More Eastern games, but yeah.
So before I continue to the last shake that Hattie for the last topic, let me do a little quick shout out real quick. Make the click, familia. ¿Cómo te estás, Peter? No, Jedi Knight Peter is here. Hello, Mr. Jedi Knight Peter. I hope we will see you online later on. How are you doing? Jay Vargas is here. Sarah Blow, which he is still laughing because your team of Celtics lost. So that's why I wanted to do a little quick shout out. Also, real fast, Infinite Umber, shout out to you too, brother. Happy to see you here. So now, we're back to shaking the hat. Let's see what we get. Alright, 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 alright. Let's see which number is this. I think I already put this number up, but either way. Oh, okay. Here we go. Number 4. Last but not least. Oh, okay, here we go. Xbox Insider Preview 5 Classic Games. It's going to be only for PC. Grr. Here are the 5 games. Heretic, Shadow of the Serpent Riders. Hexen, Beyond Heretic. Hexen, Death Kings of the Dark Citadel. Elder Scrolls Arena. And Quake Champions. Even though it's only for PC, will you guys give it a go? Let's start with you, Mr. Silent Cypher.
No, I'm good, but Sour might have an opinion on it. I personally no, I'm all right.
All right, all
Sour.
right. How about you, Sour?
Okay, well, I don't know if I would actually play them because even though I do have a PC, but they are pretty old. But what's interesting about this, real quick, is that most of these, if not all of them, are actually Bethesda titles. However, I believe Activision Blizzard had the rights to them, to these IPs. So that's pretty interesting. The fact that
Run back over that list real quick while we're at it.
Okay. Heretic, Shadow of the Serpent Riders. Hexen, Beyond Heretic. Hexen, Death Kings of the Dark Citadel. Elder Scrolls Arena. And Quake Champions. Those are the 5. The Super
okay.
5.
Yeah, so I think Sour is right on that one.
yes, so that makes it pretty interesting. So that might mean, which will tie into one of our topics later on, that even though of course Microsoft still has no say in Activision Blizzard, but that must mean that somehow they are working together already to do several things, and hopefully once the purchase is done, even though once the purchase is done, there's still things to do. However, if they are working together, maybe hopefully the games will come out soon, right away. Some of the old games, so it's pretty interesting. How about
That's
you,
cool. That's
Crazy?
cool.
What you got?
Me? Oh, man. I'm going to say something, though. I mean, I played the heck out of Hexen. Also, I'm really going to give it a go. I mean, I'm going to probably install it and see how it looks and give it a shot. I mean, of course, I know it's going to be on PC. Well, I didn't say it had to be on PC, but okay. I'll give it a go. Also, you got Quake Champions. I mean, a lot of people love Quake Champions. A lot of people. It's a really talked about game. I didn't get a chance to play it, and I'm really happy they're actually putting it on there so I can give it a go. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Like I said, I'll try them out and give out my reviews about them. So, before I hand my controllers back to the captain, I wanted to tell everybody, please, since you are here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, also hit that bell, and please share it out to the world so you come and watch us and enjoy our show. So, Captain, it's time for you to grab the controls.
Oh, man. All right. Well, so we are going to get into our main topics this evening. We're in the cruise part of our flight this evening. So we're going to have our 3-course meal. First part of this meal today is going to be the fact that Skate 4 is now just labeled as Skate, and it will be a service free-to-play game. It's a live service free-to-play game. So this is a little bit of a departure from what I think a lot of us Skate fans were thinking. We probably expected that it was going to be a full-fledged Skate game. We did not necessarily think when they first announced this that we were going to be going into a game as a service type of approach. The game, which is set to release currently on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC systems at the moment, it'll end up supporting crossplay. It's got cross progression as well, apparently. Whether the game is on the last gen versions is unknown at this point. They haven't really said anything about that. We're still early days, right? Like we saw a very early trailer about this thing. But the big thing, obviously, is the fact that this thing is shifting to a free-to-play live service type of game. So there's a lot to talk about on this, but I think the biggest thing is, like, for me, I was surprised. I guess maybe I shouldn't be, but I was very much surprised about the fact that they were shifting to this. We're going to start this off. Crazy, were you surprised that they're going to a free-to-play model like this?
Here's the thing, though. I mean, there's a lot of games that especially sports games. I mean, for me, they need to go to a free to play model. I mean, seriously, it's every year. Like for example, I'll give you an idea of, let's say, FIFA. Every year you get pretty much the same team. I mean, I remember that my favorite team was Manchester United, and each year when my best friend bought FIFA because that was his favorite game, I always used the same Manchester United. There was what was this guy's name? Oh Lord, I forget people. But there was Van Persie, and there was Wayne Rooney, right? And for the last 4 FIFAs, it was always Wayne Rooney and Van Persie. So yeah, pretty much we got the same players. So I'll be honest with you, the sports games should be free to play games. I mean, seriously, they should do that. And what else?
So we'll go along that same path. We're
Yeah.
gonna keep going kind of down that rabbit hole as we continue talking
Yeah.
about this. But just to kind of give you some more to think about with this, right? So with
Yeah.
Skate becoming a game as a service title, it could be something similar to like Fortnite or the upcoming Forza Motorsport, potentially, right?
Yeah.
And this'll go into more of the information that we're going to talk about later. But the question would be obviously how they would actually approach their game as a service title. What would fully be available? There's early rumblings that'll just be cosmetic type of microtransactions and stuff,
Right.
of which again we will add into this further. But I wonder in the process of this if we're going to start to see the portfolio from EA shifting into this games as a service, kind of like what you were just saying now with sports games being included. You look at their Madden franchise, you look at Tiger Woods or what's now Rory McIlroy, or just
Yeah.
golf at this point, or whatever they're calling it at this point, and then their iteration
Okay.
of soccer and stuff like that since they've lost the FIFA
Let
franchise.
I ask you a question. How
Yeah.
long has this one's for Sour. How long has LeBron James been playing basketball?
Like, oof, I don't know, like 16 years, I think. 16,
No. I'm
17
talking about
years.
NBA career. NBA career.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. 16 years, right? How many 2K games has he been on?
I'm not sure. Like, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure, but pretty much all of them, right?
Oh, like
You
the
mean
actual
as far as the
player?
roster, right?
Oh,
As
as a
far as
roster?
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
thought you mean the cover. No, he's been in all of them, of course.
Yeah, of course. That's what I mean. I'm a big like if I'm a big fan of LeBron James, I mean seriously, it's the same thing with wrestling games. I mean, I buy wrestling games. What are they gonna add me? Pretty much the same wrestlers. I mean, the other day I bought the WWE 2K. Okay, and the funny part is that since all the roster is gone, the game was actually great, but pretty much all the cool guys that were before that, they're gone. So, like I said, why just not make it just something infinite, right? Okay, cool. And since now we're in the microtransactions talk, and you were saying about
Oh,
EA and all that stuff.
hold on now.
Okay.
Let's keep in just the game as a
Slow down.
service at the
Okay,
moment.
let's keep it as okay. We'll keep there. Okay, then. Okay, let's keep it right there. But yeah, like I
Do you
said,
have
you
more?
got you got LeBron James for all the NBA 2Ks. You got Tiger Woods for a bunch of golf games. Like I said, you got Wayne Rooney for a couple years. You got Van Persie. I mean, Messi. Messi is not. I don't know. Let Messi quit playing soccer, but Messi has been in FIFA for like the last. I don't know how
For
many years, but
forever.
yeah, and seriously, they should just make it a platform. Sports games should be platform. Same thing as football, American football. Just make it a platform, and just each year, if players change, if people want to buy it, just buy it. Buy like the new players that just came in, and that's it. And just
Yes.
keep what's it called? Actualizing the game. What's it? Is it actualizing the word? My Spanish is being confusing these days.
Updating. You mean.
Updating the
Yes.
game. That's the word. Updating the game. Thank you, Sour Blues. Thank you so much.
Speaking of sour, let's shift over to your opinion on this.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? Were you surprised when they went free to play with this? When they announced that was a thing, obviously ditching the Skate 4 title, the moniker, and just going Skate, straightforward, kind of like Forza Motorsport. Same thing with like Minecraft. Same thing where they end up just adding more iterations as they go. Um, Obviously that opens a lot of avenues for them because they can just say, okay, free to play on this thing. We're going to make it just an entire environment for you to live in. We'll update this thing as we go, whatever. There's no iterative nature. What are your thoughts on this so far?
Well, I think it could be a great idea, just as it could be an awful idea. It all depends on how the game comes out. I myself have been saying that I think all sports game, like Crazy Lou said, should become just platform games. Because at the end of the day, because the thing is not only because it's the same roster or the same game. Is the thing is that they don't innovate anymore. So it's more of the same game, which you pay every year, and all you get is a little bit more, you know, a better lighting effect. It looks a little bit better. That's basically all you get, and maybe the mechanic is a little bit, and not even like I'm a big 2K player, and I don't feel the mechanic actually really evolves. All you get is that from one version to another, either the gameplay feels a little bit faster or a little bit slower, or maybe the defensive players, like it's easier to get steals on one version than rather than the other one, or it's easier to score on one rather than the other one. But it's the mechanic, the gameplay doesn't really change, and it's
Yes.
been like this for years. Like I I own 2K 2017 in PC, and I bought this year's 2022. Well, 23 is coming out, but 22. And I put them side by side, and it's not really that big of a jump. Like, I actually I bought it because it was like cheap, and some of my buddies really wanted to play it with me. But honestly, like I don't really feel like the need for the purchase. Like, so
It's almost like we're talking about greed, right?
Yeah.
yes,
It's
Definitely.
almost like we're saying, oh, gee, $60 for a new roster doesn't really cut the mustard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's how I said that.
yeah,
That's
and
what
all,
I'm saying.
and all they gotta do is when a new, let's say they come out 2K, they just call it NBA 2K, right?
Yeah.
For this year. For next
Yeah.
year, of course, new players are going to come. And some players, they're either going to get better or they're going to get worse. All you got to do is add the new players. And then the players that are already there, it's a slider. You either move them up, move them down. You make them better, make
Yeah.
them worse. And that's it.
It's like the meme
Yeah.
of the whole thing of like, oh, I'm gonna make a remaster, and then
Yeah.
you see the meme of file save as
Yeah.
1080p 60 FPS, or
Yeah.
it's almost that same idea, right? Where it's like it's so easy to change a roster. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like there's really not a lot that goes into that. I think that definitely speaks volumes, as we've seen some IPs and some companies starting to shift to some of these games as a service. Just give us a roster for like $5 or $10 and just say, hey, updated stats, updated
Yeah.
perks for these characters. I mean, I know some people might get a bad taste in their mouth on that initially, but if you think about it, you're paying $10 for like a roster on that versus $60 or $70 for the actual game.
Yes.
Right? Like, and I know some people argue with it because some people are diehard with it, but like you said, the visuals don't change that much unless you're going. I always told my customers when I worked at the game store, if you're going to buy sports games and stuff, either buy them at a deep discount or buy them 4 or 5 years in between each other.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're not going to see that much of a change in the actual physics, the visuals, all that stuff. I think this is a great solution for that, personally.
Another thing they
but-
can do real quick.
Yeah.
Another option is if they still want to sell you the game, at least what they can do is, let's say they bring out 2K, let's say 25.
Yeah.
And you can make that game run for several years, maybe 5 years or 10 years. And then when you come up with the next iteration, then you can truly see the jump from one from another, because you're going to have all that time to work in development.
Yeah.
And, new hardware or new software, etc. But, every year just the
It's
jump
too
is
much.
it's too small,
It's too much,
then you
but-
pay too much for it.
But
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You're chomping at the bit. What do you got?
I was gonna say, like, for example, you got Oh, but before that though, the fifth horseman asked a question though. He said, "Wait, let me look for it real quick." I think it. But like I was saying though, with the whole sports thing, I mean, seriously, what Sourblue is saying is actually true. Paying for that, $60 every year, okay, but like, why don't you do it just like Destiny does? Like, for example, Destiny comes up with, like, let's say they come up with a new career mode or something. They add something saucy or extra spicy, or I don't know. Come up with something new, because, like I said, for example, like the 2K careers are always the same thing. I mean, you sit there, you're like, okay, we're playing. You create a character and you go through it. I don't want to create a character. Like, for example, I want to grab, for example, in a wrestling game, I want to grab Rey Mysterio, just be Rey Mysterio. Don't give me that 2K show thing, because that's boring. It was cool for once, but I just want to grab, like it was in SmackDown versus Raw, Here Comes the Pain, where you choose any wrestler and just went through the story. You had like a career mode. Change the career mode, change something, but just don't be telling people like, hey, create your person and and go through that. That's freaking crazy. I mean, seriously. And like I said, paying $60 for the same thing each year, same football players, same roster, same anything.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm
for what?
I'm sure both of you probably are on the same page with me in the fact that I feel a little slighted by a company if someone tells me, here's the updated roster. It's barely changed. These people have gotten slightly older. Here's your usual season campaign. Now make your own adventure. Like if I wanted to make my own adventure, I could buy a D&D book from my local shop and make my own adventure. If
Well,
I'm
there,
paying you 60 or 70 bucks, I expect a little bit more than telling me to make
well,
my adventure.
well, it depends too, because like if you're selling me a role playing game, then that's different, you know.
Yes, it is 100% different because this is not a role-playing game that we are
Yeah.
being given. And especially, again, at 60 or 70 bucks, like, I'm sorry, but it does not cut the mustard to tell me that all you're going to give me is slightly different lighting, like Sour said, different visuals or whatever, and a slightly different roster. Like, I feel like that doesn't show a value to the customers anymore like it used to, especially in these days, and the fact that you can get updates to games, right? Like think back to Xbox, the original Xbox, or think back to the early days of Xbox 360, back in the times where we didn't get updates on games like that like we do now.
Yeah.
There's not an excuse for this type of behavior now, this greed that there is, compared to what it used to be. They used to be able to get away with it a little better because they could be like, oh, sorry, we couldn't update the game, but in this version, we've got you taken care of. This is the Lionel Messi Game of the Year edition that has all the upgrades, and you can pay us $60 or $70 more to do so.
Right.
And this brings us to the next portion of this topic.
Before you go to that portion of the next topic, Fifth Horseman has a question for us. Okay. What do you expect from a skate game? Played Tony Hawk game, never really got into skate. I mean, I never played skate. I don't know if you guys have played it. How is skate? How is skate? Tell your thoughts on that.
Sour, do you wanna take this first?
No, I haven't played it, so it's all you.
Okay. Oh, okay. So in that case, let me jump on into this. Let's go into San Vanalona or whatever the silly name of the company or the world is that you're playing in.
Lord.
So I've played those games since the first Skate, and I love them. The things that I would expect for it, honestly, is like, unfortunately, they're gonna run us through a tutorial like they always do, and I'm gonna cringe. Because anyone who's played Skate for more than 10 or 15 minutes understands the control scheme to an extent.
I don't.
But that's that's fair. Or, well, you struggle with driving sometimes. But we diverge.
And also escape rooms, because he pretty much killed you.
But the things that I expect from a new Skate game is obviously they're going to do more of their shenanigans that they've done for years, right? Is like, you're going to have your like bone-breaking missions and content. You're going to have your own the spots, stuff like that. I don't expect us to go into like a story-rich environment by any means. Like I saw some articles that were talking about how like this one was going to be in the universe of the original games. I'm sorry. There's not really like a story-rich world. So the idea of this being in the same universe is fine. That's great. It could be in a different universe. We could be on Mars. It really won't change the game. But I do expect a lot of the same trappings and haunts that we had in the previous Skate games. Is just running around, having good control scheme, and cruising around all over the place doing kickflips.
So here's I got a question for you now. Which is better, Tony Hawk? Because I played the hell out of Tony Hawk. I know Tony Hawk is straightforward, or Skate. Which is better?
Of which I would argue you can't compare them. Because they're not the same game by any means. Like, Tony Hawk tried to play the same thing of doing an open world later on in the Tony Hawk games, but it's not the same. Because with Skate, you have unlimited time to go off and do whatever. If you do a specific challenge, you have a time limit. With Tony Hawk, it was always you have 2 minutes or whatever the time limit was at the time. and you have to do these things in
These
that
things,
time
yeah.
frame. Now,
That was a lot
granted,
of
you
fun.
could collect them, so you could stack them, you could keep redoing it over and over
Yeah.
again, but they're such different games. You know, it's like I like them for different reasons. Um, but yeah, so Sour, have you played any of the Tony Hawk games? I'd be
Yes,
curious about
yes, I
that as
have.
well.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Definitely.
Did you enjoy those? Did you like the restrictive nature of just a 2-minute run?
Well, honestly, at that the moment I play those games, I didn't think at it at I didn't think of them as a restricted game. You know, for me, it was actually quite the opposite. But you know, time has changed. Maybe if I play them now, I would think differently. Well, especially if I play Skate and then maybe play one of those games, maybe I would think differently. But when I played them, which was way back, I think PlayStation 2, I played.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they go all the way
yeah,
back to the
yeah.
N64 and PlayStation 1 days.
Oh wow,
It's
that was in the N64. I didn't
it
even
was. It
I didn't even
was. Yeah.
recall them there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
N64 had smoother edges. PlayStation, all the characters were sharper. So that was the real big difference, and the rough controller on N64.
Okay.
But so we're going to continue into this topic, going into obviously microtransactions and different stuff
Ooh.
like that. So one of the things that this whole thing allows as a game of games as a service is you're removing that $60 to $70 barrier of entry right at the front, and you're saying, okay, well, you can support us by buying microtransactions, right? So the problem with this is Skate is an EA game, and EA is known for its very tumultuous history with microtransactions. Now, initial reports sound like, based on some of the areas I've seen online that reported on it, that maybe it's only going to stay cosmetic. But I don't feel like I've seen that constantly. Maybe I'm wrong. But I get nervous, right? Because EA does have a history of these microtransactions being egregious. Um, I get nervous because EA of old that we've seen, even just up to recently with FIFA and the loot boxes and stuff like that, a lot of the stuff that they did was categorized, and they got sued. I think they had a bunch of different lawsuits come at them for it being considered gambling. A lot
Yes.
of areas actually tried to tag them for that, and I think one or two were successful. Of which they actually had to change some of the mechanics to make it so it wasn't considered illegal in areas because of it. So that tells you how this company has approached it and how they've taken advantage in the past. Now, the hope obviously is that they would have learned their lessons from that, be it, example, Star Wars Battlefront 2, be it FIFA, stuff like
FIFA.
that. But it still always makes you a little bit nervous. You look at other examples like Fortnite. Fortnite is a prime example of one that has managed to make it work because it's not a loot box. It's telling you a known sum. You pay $10, you're getting this specific skin. Versus EA has done it as a loot box, which shows as gambling. I guess a couple questions I would ask, going back to it real quick, just rewind a little bit. Are you worried in regards to their microtransaction behavior of the past, that they're going to slip into some of their old behavior? Sour, we're going to jump with you first. So that, and also another question with you is, why aren't we seeing games like these adopt a system like Fortnite?
Okay. Well, first of all, yes. Always with EA games, there's always concerns. It feels like there's always, in order to spell EA games, there's always a BUT with them. But yeah, definitely it's a concern, and I I think we talked a little bit before the show about other companies adopting the Fortnite kind of like um, what do you say
Idea. The
idea
Fortnite's.
or
Yeah.
the template. But
Perfect.
I think it's not that easy because Fortnite is the first thing is Fortnite is a phenomenon. Second thing is there's a certain art style with Fortnite where they can work a lot of things into that art style and into that game mechanics, etc. Which not all games could really. I mean, they technically they could, but at the same time, not every developer wants to break their game because at the same time, Fortnite is not really what it was meant to be at the beginning. Like it's a completely different game if you think about it. And not every developer thinks about it just money wise. Of course they want the money, but they also have a certain product they value that they want the product to come out and play a certain way and be a certain way. So that also plays into it. And I think there's many other factors that play into it. They also like, sure, like, you are a developer. You might want to have, you want to have Kratos. You want to have Master Chief. You want to have all these IPs into your games. And you want to make these collaborations. But the other thing is, do those other entities or companies do they want to make collaboration with you? That's another thing that you got to take into question. So I think it's not like such an easy answer, but let's see how they go with Skate. I think it's a good move for it to be free to play. However, they have to be open. That's the first thing they should be. They should be open to their fans, and they should ask for feedback because the community always will tell them, listen, this is a good idea or this isn't a good idea. And many other communities, for example, Sea of Thief is a great example of how you can do things. Like they have a great system for cosmetic, which people are willing to buy their cosmetic because of the time they spent in their game, and they don't charge you for any DLCs, for example, or anything like that, or any expansions. So people are happy with the game, and so it happens with many other games, like you mentioned, Fortnite, and etc. It's just the way you implement things and the way you open up to your community.
So, especially with something like Skate and stuff like that, I feel, and crazy, you can, I'll just say this real quick and I'll drop it right to you. But I think especially in a situation like something like Skate, you don't have these rosters the same way as like some of these sports games and stuff like that. So it feels like that's another thing that you could bypass. But obviously, like, as we've seen with Fortnite, cosmetics are a major thing. Like Fortnite blows it up in cosmetics. I would be really excited to see them do something like that. I don't know how many times you can make, some like mid-20s dude in baggy jeans look interesting or something. Like hopefully they'll start getting some other characters and stuff in there. I would wonder if they decided to go with like licensed characters. I don't know if they'll play in that universe, if we'll see Star Wars characters and stuff dropping into Skate because they've worked together in the past. But crazy, are you concerned with these shenanigans that we could be getting into?
Microtransactions. Favorite word in the world. For these game developers.
Are you worried? I guess the biggest thing ultimately is just like, do you think it'd be a consumer friendly approach, offering it and saying, hey, it's here if you want it. You don't have to get it though.
Here's the thing with EA, and this is my issue with EA, and also happened at Overwatch. It happened with Overwatch too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is with EA and Overwatch, they're giving you these boxes, and if you spend money, for the boxes. You were like, okay, these are the ultimate boxes. Let's just buy them and see what happens. Let's see what you get. Sometimes you will get something you want, or sometimes you get like a boot or oh, just a gauntlet or something. But in difference with Fortnite, like I was saying earlier, and for example, Destiny, you actually see what are you gonna buy. For example, you in Fortnite, you're like, oh, let me get this. Let me get this. I'll give you an example. This stormtrooper, right?
Yeah.
What does the stormtrooper gives me? It says you got the stormtrooper probably lightning rod thing where it's to smash things. You probably got the stormtrooper hang glider, stormtrooper mimic, and something like that. You're like, okay, let me get this and I'll pay for it. Seriously, okay, I like it, and I got the opportunity to pay for it. Also, same thing as for the season pass. If I want to pay for the season pass and like the stuff that they have, I'll pay for it and enjoy it. And which, like I said, these guys had something interesting before. Fortnite did something interesting that I really highly appreciated. I said, these guys, all of these free-to-play games you do, which, for example, I play like $9 a month or $9 or $10 a month, and I'm pretty much a member of that. And what they do is each month they give me 1,000 points, and I get season pass for free. But I keep accumulating 1,000 points. If I don't want to waste them, I don't waste them, and that's on me. You know, I pay $10 a month for that. And that's pretty awesome. Fortnite gives you a bunch of stuff that is right there clear to you, not hidden like in a box like these guys are doing. So if EA is going for this again and you guys are not going to be clear with your fans or users or whatever you have, then don't do it. Seriously, don't do it because they're going to rant. And it's gonna happen like it happened with Battlefront. Battlefront literally had to cancel all that stuff. They literally had to. And what they did was they made you work for it, and they made it really freaking hard. It's hard like for you to get like a cool thing with a gun, but seriously, it's not cool that I have to go pay for something.
So I think I can say safely for the three of us that the general consensus is that if they're going to do microtransactions, if this is going to succeed, right, we want a known sum. We want to know what we're buying. We don't want gotcha mechanics. We don't want surprise mechanics of loot boxes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because ultimately, we just want something that's official. We want something that's legit, something we know, right? We want to know what we're buying. And, you know, on that same topic, I want to talk about something that, you know, someone else knows that they're buying, and they're getting the details about it right now, actually.
I think they were also called out because they thought they said that was kind of gambling. I think the guys jumped on that because they're saying it's kind of like a gamble thing. It's like a bet. But because in a way you were gambling. I mean, you pay for a box to see what you were going to get. It's like for you throwing the dice in the table, see if it lands the number you wanted to land on. So basically they were saying it's like a gambling mod thing. Seriously, they got hit hard for all that stuff. It was just crazy.
100%, especially the main focus was FIFA. Battlefront 2 took the brunt of it as well, of which we did see changes, fortunately. But as I was jumping into, one of the things especially is, you know, we want known sums, right? So a known sum that we've gotten more detail on, and the picture is becoming more and more clear as we shift into it, is the fact that our next topic is that Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard could be finalized soon. So obviously we're getting more details on this. We're finding more detail. We're not in the dark on what we're getting, on what Microsoft is getting at this point, because it's been revealed to us that Microsoft is just waiting for authorization from the FTC before it can officially purchase Activision Blizzard, which I like to just refer to as ActiBlizz. The purchase it'll cost about $68.7 billion. It'll give Microsoft the rights to Activision Blizzard's games, which do include such bangers as Diablo, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, all those franchises, and many more. Crash Bandicoot, all the list goes on. But so if the FTC doesn't ask for any additional information from Microsoft in the next month or so, then the deal will automatically be finalized, and Xbox plans to have the ActiBlizz assimilated into existing brands by the summer of 2023 at the latest. Though possible decisions from the US government could cause it to go either earlier or later, just kind of depending on what happens ultimately. Crazy. Do you see the purchase finalizing this year? And if so, will the games be added all at once, like all the ones that they can add to Game Pass immediately? Do you think we'll see those added all at once, or will it be like a slow trickle in on those titles?
I mean, if everything closes fast, it probably could go fast. I mean, if it actually does go by and goes and the transactions are going smooth, they can go fast. But here's the thing, though. I mean, there's still a little bit of issues that I don't know if they've been solved because it's been kind of quiet lately. With the whole lawsuits and all that stuff, it's been kind of quiet. I mean, there hasn't been much talk about it, but if it's finally getting, to a point, it could actually be finished soon. And seriously, like I said, I hope it does because I worry much about the employees that work there and what they're going through than the game is heading to Game Pass. I mean, seriously, if it happens, I just hope it happens soon so they can get that company up and safe for all the workers and the employees over there. That's what I actually really want from my heart. I mean, I don't mind. It's cool that we're getting the games on there because either way, if you want to buy, you have the option to buy it. And it's fantastic that I'm jumping on that. But for me, I'd rather that just goes fast and really just get those employees to be happy and have a good work, safe place. That's my point of view of that.
Crazy, you must be reading my mind because this works out perfectly because that actually goes to the next question I wanted to ask you real quick, which is how do you expect Microsoft is going to manage ActiBlizz, right? So we've seen how Bethesda has been controlled in regards to things. Obviously, they've let Pete Hines kind of, guide things on the back end. They have Todd Howard, it's like they're kind of controlling their thing on the side. They check in with them. They see where they're at. They do status updates and stuff. But generally, they leave them to do their thing because obviously Bethesda knows Bethesda. They know how they are, and they try to kind of govern themselves. Do you think we'd see the same thing with this acquisition, or do you think because of how big it is, do you think that they would jump in, take more control, or maybe put someone specifically like, in control of it with them?
Well, I'll be honest with you. They already put, for example, if the deal goes through, Phil's going to be the head of it. They literally said Phil Spencer can be the head of all this stuff. That's what they said at the beginning. I don't know if things change. I mean, but what would I do? I mean, seriously, I would take out everything that's bad about it and just try to make it a better, safe work environment for everybody. Take everything that's bad and make it work for everybody else because seriously, I mean, they've been through a lot. I mean, breastfeeding people running into the rooms. It's just a whole bunch of stuff those employees have gone through. And not only that, damn, I mean, you got so much creative minds there. I mean, you got a big team there with just so many good ideas and you just close them all down just to work on only Call of Duty and probably another thing on just making the big bucks, And that's another thing that frustrates people. I mean, for example, if I want to make a Louis game, right, on Twitter Louis game, and I bring you the idea like, no, you got to work on Call of Duty because next year we got to get Call of Duty, Call of Duty Fishmasters, something like that, where you take Call of Duty under the sea and shoot each other. Oh, Call of Duty under the sea, where you go under the sea and shoot each other, right? Okay, in Call of Duty game. You got to work on that. We got to get that out. Stuff like that. That's all you do. You're getting these people frustrated on that stuff and just working on that. And not only that, they try to talk to you to get a raise and you shut them down. You're like, hey, no, this and that. Seriously, they need to fix that up. And I hope that once the deal is done, they actually do give those guys the importance and give those guys their spot. So many good games and so many good ideas over there, and seriously, they need to fix that urgently. And so, yeah, once that's done, I hope Phil Spencer grabs it and puts it on somebody's hands also to help him out and clear out whatever's bad from there and bring in the good stuff. That's my belief.
Louis, I love the fact that you jumped to making your own game. Hashtag Untitled Louis game. That hopefully will be trending soon. So fingers crossed. But I also like Call of Duty Fishmaster. That was amazing. You can't make this stuff up sometimes.
No, I know, because I mean, what else? It's like Fast and the Furious. I mean, they were joking about it. The next Fast and the Furious movie was gonna be like 15. You'll see Vin Diesel and everybody on wheelchairs, something like that.
Well,
They're making fun of that, because it's gonna be old.
They got Aquaman, aka Jason Momoa now. So.
Oh, Jason Momoa.
But Sour, I want your opinion on this as well as we get into this. Do you see, in regards to all this, do you see them finalizing it this year? And if so, do you think the games will be added all at once? Obviously, they have a massive library.
Yes.
Right? So,
super massive.
Personally, for me, I'll just trickle this in, but I kind of think that maybe they'll do it slowly over time, because inundating with too much all at once, I feel like, it just creates decision paralysis, personally.
Yes.
But what do you think? How do you think they'll approach it?
Well, I think it will all depend on when they close, because I'm sure they're hoping they can close as soon as possible. And when I mean soon, I mean like probably in a month or two. That's best case scenario, which it's pretty hard that it will happen. But if that happened, that can alleviate a little bit of Phil getting delayed, Redfall getting delayed, and then that you have your holidays games right there. You have a group of games, and then hopefully whatever else they can add to Game Pass. So I do think if it closes soon, they will add a big chunk of games. I don't think they will add all of them because it's a very extensive library. So I don't think all of them, but I think they will do a great chunk. And regarding them closing, I believe at the end of this week, South Africa is gonna have their answer by the end of this. By the end of this month. Then by next month, we got the FTC, and then we got many other countries, like I think Australia. I forgot. They're like 4 different countries that they're supposed to give their answer unless they want more information, which I think by now Microsoft kind of has an idea of what they need. So I think they're pretty on hands with that. So I don't think they will have much issues with that. So hopefully they can get it to close soon.
Here's the thing. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Let me say something real quick, Silent. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I mean, literally, I read this and I was like, seriously. Every time I read that, it just breaks my heart on just how people and just talk this nonsense. I mean, first it was the Senate, right? They were like, how are they going to treat the employees? I was like, why are the Senate talking about it? Okay, whatever. And now the other day I read that UK, I think it was UK or Europe, I don't know, they were going to do an investigation if it was a good idea if Microsoft did buy Activision Blizzard. If it was, look, they even said that they were going to make the games like lower quality. When I read that, I was like, seriously, you guys want to make an investigation right now? I mean, again, I wouldn't worry about that. I would worry more about what's going on the inside and try to save that company. And then worry about if they're going to lower the quality or better the quality. That's another issue. But for me, worry about the people inside. Seriously, think about those people. I mean, I care for them. I don't know them, but I care for them. Because I don't want to be in that situation. That would be a tough spot. Especially if you're in a job and people, you got so much ideas, you try to bring them, they're like, nah, and just ignore you, and then they treat you like crap, or or because you're a woman, something like that. And man, seriously,
Crazy.
they
I
don't think about
think
that.
I think the thing that, and no one's gonna
Yeah,
like me saying this
yeah,
because it's gross, and I agree 100%.
yeah,
But to answer your question of like why would these different groups get involved and stuff like that? Why would some of the people in government and stuff like that? I would argue it's probably because they have a vested interest. Because we know
yeah,
and we hear all the time that a lot of these people are in the stock market, trading, buying, stuff like that. So I would argue there's probably a vested interest as to why some of the people are involved in it. They want to see it go their way because it'll benefit them in a monetary form or fashion.
yeah. I know.
In regards to what Sauer was saying, so if we real quick we play the math on it and we factor out that okay, we've got
Yeah,
four more countries or four more entities technically. That's
yeah,
going to put us at about like a November 20th, like right before Thanksgiving. This thing could potentially lock in, which means, kind of like what we were talking about previously, close by end of year, maybe by beginning of year, we start seeing some of those rewards. Or potentially, if things are expedited, if things are efficient, maybe we get a nice Christmas gift
That would be
of
awesome.
all these awesome ActiBlizz games in Game Pass from Uncle Phil, from Sarah Bond, from
yeah,
Matt Booty, all the crew at Microsoft. A nice early Christmas present with a giant bow on it.
yep,
That's just my hope.
Yeah.
But speaking of things that Microsoft is potentially, speaking of things that Microsoft is getting their hands in, or potentially getting their hands in, we move on to the next topic, which is Microsoft could seek to acquire streaming service Netflix after closing on ActiBlizz.
Okay.
Now,
Before we jump on that real quick, I
yeah,
wanted to
yes,
give
go for it.
a quick take on not what I think Microsoft how they would manage the Activision Bliss, but what I would
Oh,
love
yes,
them to have to do. You
yes,
know, Blizzard
well,
already got Mike Ibarra, so
yep,
you could make him handle Blizzard, and please make all the studios just stop working on Call of Duty. Not all the studios have to
yeah,
work in Call of Duty, please.
yeah.
So separate
Seriously,
them, make them work on their own game, and then for Activision Blizzard, you got to get rid of Bobby Kotick and get
yep,
someone in charge of there. And then also, not only for I don't only want changes over there. I also want changes on Microsoft Studios. What I want them to do is, maybe lift some of the weight for poor Matt Booty. Give him half, and then a studio that I think has been doing a great job so far, and I think might be able to do it, is Obsidian. Maybe you can hand some of the studios to Obsidian, make Obsidian bigger, kind of like
yeah,
Bethesda, and maybe they
yeah,
can handle some of those studios and they could become something bigger, kind of like Bethesda, which
yeah.
I think they can do it, and I think that's the studio that you want because they seem to be pretty efficient.
You know what I would do? If I was, if that, like you were talking, now I'm gonna talk about the game set, right?
Honestly,
If
we might not
wait,
want to
wait, wait.
know what you would do.
No, 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 nothing bad, nothing bad. I'll give you an idea though.
before Louis
Since
jumps into it, I do want to say,
what's up?
Sour, sorry for cutting you off before.
Yeah,
You actually got to talk about how they'd manage the publisher.
yeah,
That's
No,
my
that's
bad.
that.
yeah.
I'm good with that. That's what I would love them to do that. That
I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
breakdown
agree.
right there.
Not,
crazy.
not, not.
What do you,
Now,
what do you,
since we're talking about the game idea, like the ideas you brought in, I mean, I'll give you a good idea. I mean, first thing I would grab is make World of Warcraft part of the console, Xbox console. I mean, I would seriously make that thing part of, of the Xbox console. I mean, World of Warcraft, they need to expand it, not only in PC, so and work on it really hard like they used to, because I remember World of Warcraft was the thing. I mean, that
What
thing.
what I want for console is
uh,
a World of Warcraft story
yeah,
as an RPG that
yes.
plays like Witcher, like the Witcher
yeah,
3.
that'd be awesome.
That
That'd be
would be
awesome. They do
awesome.
that.
Give
don't
me
care about
Arthas
World of Warcraft.
Menatell.
I don't care
Yeah.
about Warcraft as it is, but in a scenario like what you just said,
Yeah.
yeah, I would play that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So many
I'm
great
over World of
characters. So
Warcraft.
many
That
great
was-
stories.
Like I said, they got so
Sylvana,
much
Thrall.
content. I mean, I was pretty amazed because I mean, the other day I read on how World of Warcraft was. I mean, literally, I remember back in the day, even Ozzy Osbourne was in World of Warcraft. Literally, Ozzy Osbourne was like a boss or
Dude,
something. I don't
World
know.
of Warcraft was huge.
Was
like,
huge, and they just literally just let it die. I mean, I was like, let me check out the player base of World of Warcraft.
I'd
I mean-
argue what made it die was those really cringy commercials with Ozzy Osbourne showing that he was playing
no,
World of Warcraft.
that wasn't it.
Oh, Sharon!
Sharon,
I'm level 70. Oh!
Leroy
No, but-
Jenkins.
But no, but I'm just saying how big it was. I mean, even Ozzy was.
You got to see that, Ryan?
Oh,
The Leroy
dude,
Jenkins.
yes,
Oh,
I did.
That was
Oh,
that was
Lord.
so funny.
Yeah.
Seriously, oh Lord. But like I said again, I mean, they got so many good ideas out there, and they just need to fix that, like you said.
But going back
Clean
to
all that, yeah.
going
Yes,
back
let's-
to
let's
the
reel
next
it
Let's go
time.
back.
back to let's go
Let's
back to
reel
this
it
bring it
back.
back in. Yeah, because
So-
seriously, it's a long subject.
So yes, so again, talking about things that Microsoft
Yeah.
has,
Yeah.
their hands in, or potentially has their hands in, is the whole thing about Microsoft acquiring the streaming service Netflix after they close ActiBlizz. So obviously, like, one of the big things we've talked about over and over again is there's no way this stuff is going to happen while they're in the process of the ActiBlizz merger. When you're talking $68.7 billion worth, like, we've seen over the last bit since they announced it, we've seen the criticism, we've seen the finite detail that people have been focusing on this thing. But focusing on the future, potentially they're going to dive into something like this. So Needham senior analyst Laura Martin recently spoke with Yahoo Financing regarding a recent ad agreement that she believes conceals a hidden agenda, as it were, between the two companies. So Martin explained that the new partnership between Microsoft and Netflix, where Microsoft delivers ads for Netflix as ad-supported streaming service tier, that would possibly hint at maybe a bigger plan. It may be something that they're working on in the background that would be a bigger thing in general. She believes that there's a start of a long-term process that could result in Microsoft acquiring Netflix. Two key points that are brought up by Martin in her breakdown of the situation is that Netflix chose Microsoft as its partner for advertising for reasons other than Microsoft being the best option, saying that Microsoft is inexperienced in the ad tech business and that it may disrupt Netflix launch plans for the ad-supported tier of its service as a result. Basically, if Microsoft is actually a poor partner choice for what's supposed to be significant company changing product offering, then Netflix must have another priority for choosing Microsoft. So there's other reasons as to why they're doing this if they're not really as good in the ad-supported tier side of things. So the second point is that it's the only partner that Netflix could have chosen that was capable of making the acquisition at all. Obviously, we know that Microsoft has a very deep pocket when it comes to these type of things. So they would be a really good option. But obviously they've been tied up because of everything with the ActiBlizz situation currently. So Netflix, the value has dropped significantly in 22. Even though it's still a very valuable company, it's dropped quite a bit. As such, Microsoft has the cash on hand at this point for the purchase and is capable of building out the ad technology that's necessary for Netflix's new services where they're trying to do these ad streaming and stuff like that. So the amount of cash that Microsoft reportedly does have available at the end of March 2022 is nearly $105 billion, which is enough to cover the estimated $100 billion price tag of Netflix, even before financing. Martin's guess is that Netflix could be attempting to lure Microsoft into the acquisition. It's certainly a possible financial move, ultimately. The bigger question is whether Microsoft would be interested. So, with all that being said, and this is going to trigger some folks, so my apologies.
Small little topic.
But Sour, do you think it's a good idea for Xbox to go into the TV mentality again, like what we experienced early on in the Xbox One generation? We'll start with that.
Well, I think the main issue with the TV was that the whole focus was TV. I think they have changed things around, and they have shown that their focus right now is for gamers. And if they make this purchase as Microsoft, they don't necessarily need to. I would say like sure, they can offer a package where if they do make this purchase where you can get both of them for a convenient price where you save some money up, but at the same time, even though they could correlate in certain aspects where like you can take Netflix IPs and make games out of them, and vice versa, you can take games IPs and make series, but at the same time you have to know how to market this where you're not telling gamers that your focus is Netflix, and you're not telling Netflix fans that your main focus is gaming. It has to be always offered as an additional option.
Yes.
And I think that's something that they have been pretty great at doing, with Game Pass. Like Game Pass at the end of the day is an option. You're not obligated to jump into Game Pass. It's just such a great deal that it's hard to pass on. Yep. So that's why they've been having such a great success, I think, with Game Pass. And they're still giving you the option to buy things. That's my son right there, my oldest.
Hello.
But
Hello,
yeah.
Sour.
A guest cameo appears.
So anyway, yeah.
So Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I'm happy that you talked about the budget-friendly side of things, because that does bring me to a question I wanted to ask: is do you think that this would end up making it so Netflix would be added right into like the family plan, for example?
So can you buy new ones?
Sorry.
You're good.
Oh,
You're good.
we got a cameo.
Okay, what was the question again?
Sour blow. So what I was gonna say is just you're talking about like the budget-friendly options and things that they could do with that, and it brings me to the idea of like adding Netflix to the family plan. Do you think that's a possible avenue that they could go down?
That would be amazing right there. Like they already have the regular Game Pass package, which they have the PC, they have the console version, and I believe did they start marketing already the cloud as a separate one? Or no? Ooh, insider. Anyway, I believe that might come later on. So cloud as separate.
Besides Plume, we have our own insider
here. Yeah, he's trying to be like you, Plume.
They're collaborating, maybe the two of them.
Yeah, get him, Plume.
Who knows, maybe. But anyway, I think they're gonna have their separate version. But then you got Game Pass Ultimate, which includes everything. But for the price of Game Pass Ultimate, we can't be that greedy and expect that Netflix is gonna be added to Xbox Ultimate for the same price. But
Yeah.
then, there's that family plan that has been rumored, which could be a higher tier, which include Netflix and maybe includes many other things. For example, we got the Hot Wheel DLC, the Forza Hot Wheel DLC. Maybe that could be also included, the DLCs to this family package, or I don't know, just throwing things off, or
Sorry to stop you on that one, but did I forget because it's been a while since Forza Horizon 5 came out, but I feel like I've seen the same sentiment across Twitter, and I haven't gotten to research it because, again, life, work, it's been busy. Did we actually get that, or did we pay for the premium version?
no, we pay for the premium version.
Premium version. Yeah.
We
Okay,
bought it.
so
We
yeah,
bought it day one. That's
We
well,
got it. They won out.
yeah.
Because I was pretty sure that I got it free day one, but then I bought
Yeah.
the upgrade.
Actually, I think who I gotta thank. I think I gotta thank my buddy right here, Crazy. I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Crazy. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Oh,
Yeah.
you're welcome, buddy. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We tried to stream it real quick and to see if we got a couple of
Yeah, I was
Well-
sponsored by him for the game.
Thank you for shedding some light on that, because I was scratching my head because I saw a bunch of people talking about it as
Yeah.
it was launching and everyone was jumping into it yesterday, and I was like, wait a minute, did I that thing started downloading, did I buy the edition? And I forgot about the fact completely that, like, on day one I jumped in and I bought that premium since it gave us the game
Yeah.
day one on Game Pass. I didn't even think about it at the time. But so the last thing I'm going to touch base with you on real quick before I shift to you, Crazy, get your opinion on this,
Yes, sir.
is, do you think this is a good opportunity for them? Like, this seems like it'd be a really good move for them to use to reach their 3 billion subscribers that they've
Yes.
talked about in the past, right? So do you think that's, I mean, tying into things like what we just talked about, adding it to family plan and stuff, that seems like it'd be a good move. Do you think, I guess a couple things. Do you think that'll be how they'll do that? And also, what price point do you think Family Pass is actually going to come in at? Since we haven't heard anything official yet.
It kind of depends again a lot in how many users do you add, maybe I don't know what you would name it, but maybe a higher tier where a higher tier from Game Pass Ultimate where it includes both for one person before the family plan, and then you have the family plan where it includes for multiple users, or do you have a family plan just for the the Game Pass? It's so many avenues they can go that it would be hard to tell, but my best bet, I believe Netflix right now, what is it, like $15?
Yeah, it's either 15 or 17.99. I feel like we just got a boost recently.
I
Okay.
don't remember.
Okay, let's say it's 15. Let's
think
say
it's
it's
something-
15. Game Pass
Yeah.
Ultimate is 15. That would be $30.
Okay.
I would say
Let me check real quick. No, it's $16, right? Wait. Buy on the pricing up center. No, this is nice monthly cost for subscription plan. $16. Oh, there's a premium one for $19. I did not know that.
So if that's the case, if it were 16, I think I would say probably 30. 30 flat. I
30
doubt
and-
that they would do it as 30.
how many users though? I'll say 3 users maybe. But then $30 will look
per
low,
account.
maybe. That would look low. But maybe they can do something like 30, right? And then
Yeah.
$5 extra for every other user.
Yes. I would.
But
agree
then
with that.
you have
30.
a top limit of maybe 5 users.
Yeah.
Because you also gotta limit, because then,
Nah.
we can just tell, okay, the whole stream, let's just go into one family plan and we'll add everyone $5.
Yeah, which which obviously over time we've seen, we've seen Netflix that's tried to come in and combat against this a lot. Is like people sharing accounts and stuff like that.
I don't think that's the main
no
issue
one-
with Netflix. No. I mean, sure, people share, especially
Yeah.
in third world countries, but I don't think that's the main issue of Netflix dropping on price. But that's
No,
that's
no.
I mean,
No, I'm
dropping
not saying-
on subscribers.
No, I'm definitely not saying that's the reason for subscribers. I'd say there's, as far as everything that's going on right now geopolitically and globally in regards to pandemics and different diseases and stuff like that, I'd say there's a lot more at play than just a few people piggybacking, their friend's account, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I think over the past few years have had to make financial decisions of things that they could cut from their life that they don't necessarily need at all times.
Yeah.
I really doubt it's a situation of piracy or piggybacking, right?
I mean, literally, if you sit down and you think about it, I mean, you got Disney Plus, you got Paramount Plus, you got HBO Plus, you got Discovery Plus, right? Is it Discovery Plus? I don't forgot. You got
Something like that, yeah.
History, something, and if you sum all that up on Game Pass and everything, you probably got like $150 worth of servers right there. Yeah, all of them together.
Of which you could argue all the conversation that we've had all these years about people being angry about their cable bill.
Yep. Yeah.
Angry about your cable bill at $150, yet now
yeah.
you're just paying for like 4 or 5 services that equals to be the exact same thing, and maybe getting less channels overall.
Yeah, but
that is for a different conversation.
Yes. I was gonna say though, but there's a difference though. You can choose what you can watch.
It's true.
What the cable wants you to watch, exactly. Yeah,
this is true. So crazy. We will
What's up,
shift over to you after.
Yes.
Now that I've touched base with Sour, I want to get your opinion on this one. Do you think it is a good idea for Microsoft to go back to TV?
Let me tell you something, brother, and this is the truth. They actually do need to jump on that. Why? Because video games are what's hot. I mean, look how many video game movies are out there. Can you imagine if they actually went in and bought Netflix, right? I'm talking about the TV scenario, right? The TV scenario.
Yeah.
Right. They bought Netflix, right? And all of a sudden, they start doing the Halo that Steven Spielberg wanted to do. The idea for that Halo. I remember Steven Spielberg wanted to work on making the movie Halo. That was out there. Can you imagine they actually do make that Halo movie that Steven Spielberg wants? Or something like that, and bring content, all that stuff in there. Like for example, today, I mean seriously, this is brought. Netflix will be planning to create a series of the Xbox franchise Wolfenstein, like Boxenberger says. Can you imagine a Wolfenstein series?
Ooh.
That would be pretty freaking awesome.
That makes me so happy in so many ways. Like the words that you put into that sentence just now hit me.
Man.
Yeah. And then you got, real quick before I forget, you got that grounded animated
series that we were going to talk about, but the number didn't land. Damn. I mean, seriously, everybody's jumping on games. I mean, what other video games is coming out? I mean,
series?
You got Uncharted.
There's an Elder Scroll series supposedly on the work. There's a Fallout.
Fallout,
I think
seriously?
I think there's a Zelda one too.
You also got
Last of Us TV series.
This game, Borderlands movie on the works too. I mean, you got a bunch of games going on.
You got that Arcane TV animated TV series from
because they're
very good.
They're trying to give a little bit of rest on the Marvel superhero side, because that's all we've been getting the last 6 or 7 years. We got Marvel Avengers. We got Iron Man wearing his Iron Pants. We got a whole bunch of Marvel stuff. Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man Stays Home. Spider-Man Fires His Home. Spider-Man sits in the bathroom. We got Spider-Man pretty much.
Crazy Lou, timeout.
What? Timeout? What did I say?
Yeah. Let's give you a small timeout. How about you, Simon?
Just a smidge. Yeah. So I'll just touch in real quick.
Yeah,
Do I think it's a good idea?
yeah,
Sure. Why
yeah,
not? Like, you know, uh, This is gonna sound like PR speak, but diversification of your portfolio is a good idea, especially in times like now. It's good to make sure that you're everywhere that you can gain consumers, right?
yeah.
And again, it sounds gross. It sounds like literally you just walked into a T-Mobile store and I just tried to sell you a phone. But diversification of the portfolio is a key to expanding your market. And so if they get into it, like I feel like it's been long enough at this point that we've gotten away from the stink of TV
Yeah.
to an extent, right? Like I feel like a lot of the people that were angry about that, it's gone
Yeah.
away. Hopefully.
But I was gonna say another thing though. Now let's look at the investment side. Let's look at this real quick. The investment side. Forget about the TV thing, right?
Sure. Yeah.
This is the good thing that Netflix has, and Microsoft is trying to do. And if they actually do buy it, it will help them out so much. I mean, literally, right now, I can talk to you guys, watch a Netflix movie on my cell phone. Literally, I can jump on a plane, download the movie on my cell phone, not connect to the internet, and watch the Netflix movie on my cell phone.
Yes.
I mean, and I can watch it on my tablet. I can watch it on my computer. I can watch it over there. I mean, literally, you can't even watch it on your toilet paper, for God's sakes. Netflix is everywhere.
Do you
And
want
that's what
another
Microsoft is trying
timeout?
to do. No, I'm being honest, though. You know, it's everywhere. Netflix
I'm
is
being
literally
honest too.
everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, and that's on the investment side, right? It will literally help Microsoft on that side that because
Yeah.
they want to go everywhere, and Netflix pretty much has got that handle. Not only that, also on the movie speed. I mean, you need how much internet for that? Like 5 MB, probably
No,
5 MB of internet
It's
to
low,
move
yeah.
it.
it's low. It's low.
Yeah,
Minimal requirements, it's fairly low.
it's fairly low, so that's a good thing. That helps them out too. You can actually move games with
Quickly,
that too.
crazy to add
What's
to
up?
that also.
Yes, sir.
I believe Netflix uses AWS servers,
All right,
the
all right,
Amazon servers.
okay.
So if they would been, if Microsoft buys Netflix for sure, they will be moving them to their assured server, which will
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
more clients on their side,
yep,
which will mean more people using their server, which is good for what they want their server to become. They want
yeah.
their the whole assure to grow.
Because that's the idea. I mean, like I said, I mean, after the whole Activision thing was going through, one of the ideas that really clicked on of what we read on that article with that Satya Nadella was talking about, and his idea of making an app that you can play it anywhere, right? Play all Xbox games anywhere. And so that idea is pretty fantastic, and I hope that things go through after all that stuff is done, you know. And so if you buy Netflix, which pretty much they're the king of literally being everywhere, they're the king. I mean, it's like Blockbuster was everywhere, Netflix got everywhere. And so since they're the king of that, that will actually help them out a lot to get their ideas through on that side of things, on the investment side. So let's
You
see
know,
what happens since they right now partnered up and stuff. Let's see what goes on. So let's see.
you know, crazy.
What's up, buddy?
I'm really happy that you talk about partnering up and all these type of things and
Yeah.
stuff. Because so real quick, everyone in the podcast, we thought we were going to hit some turbulence, but we didn't, and we actually sped up a little bit. So we're going to go right to our dessert. We're going to touch
Bye.
base on dessert. So I'm going to start this with sour because I know this is near and dear to his heart. It's kind of a passion project that he threw together. Xbox being the home of console gaming mascots. What specific mascot would you choose for Microsoft at this point, especially with all of the different companies that are being taken in if the ActiBlizz acquisition happens? What mascot and what game would you like to see as the main mascot, and why?
Okay,
What's your reasoning?
I'll try to make it fast, but I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say 2 games. I want 2 games. Okay, I want a
Okay.
Conquer game based on Xbox Game Studios, where every level is inspired by one of the game studios, and you can even start with the 15, Xbox Game Studios, and then you can add maybe a DLC or a part two where you go Bethesda, and then you go Blizzard, and then you go, Activision. Those could be like different DLCs, and I think it will be awesome. And then my second game would be, I want them to combine all of them and come up with a game that is, I wouldn't say a Smash, I wouldn't say a Mario Party. I would say make it your own game, kind of like Fall Guys, where it's a different game, but it's fun. I think you can get a creative team to get together and plan a game that's unique to the platform, and you can use all these IPs that are pretty, you got Ori, you got Banjo, you're gonna have Crash, you're gonna have Spyro, you got Blinks, you can have so many other little mascots that it could be awesome. So, and you can also do collaboration with other third-party developers. So that would be my suggestion. Like 2 dream mascot games.
So crazy. I'm going to pass it to you here in just a second.
Right.
But before I do that, I'm going to be selfish. And I'm going to put in my opinion real quick.
Ooh.
Of which, if any of you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen our little conversation back and forth about mascots and such. Of which, I'm going to make this clear and simple. What?
Peppa Pig.
Not an ActiBlizz. No. No.
Oh, wait, but
I'm going to make this clear and simple.
Do you want the Peppa Pig Dominican version?
I'm going to make this clear and simple.
Just keep going.
The mascot that I want for Microsoft is no one but other Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
Tony.
No, you're completely cheating because that's not even. It's not even in.
He's a mascot. He's a mascot. It counts.
What?
He's had more games than some of the other mascots that you pointed out. So I would argue.
Okay.
He is the mascot. He may not be the mascot you want, Sour Blow, but he is the mascot we need.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, but wait a second.
No. Wait.
Wait. I was gonna say one thing though. Oh Lord.
In all reality, conquer. Absolutely conquer. Okay. Crazy Louie, go ahead. Go for it.
I was gonna say something real quick. I read the other day Tony Hawk is pro NFTs, so watch out. Just to start with that. But for mascots, I'll be honest with you. Any one of those they remake or redo, I would be really happy to see and finally get my hands on to. Because I was little, I saw Banjo-Kazooie. I played a little bit of Conquer, but just the multiplayer. And I saw all those games. I even saw Crash Bandicoot. I was like, this looks like a little kid's game. I was like, I don't like to play that. And everybody played it. Were like, hey, those are cool games. But for me, I want to be back and bring back like what Mr. Dice saying. Bring Binks, Lucky's Tale, and make the hand called Furies in Time. That would be a pretty cool name. Seriously, just bring back all those awesome mascots. And not only that, we need to bring those old mascots back, because seriously, people are missing them. People want them. It's just not Mario and not Zelda. We want those things to come back. We want Banjo-Kazooie. We want Conker's Bad Fur Day. Who else is there? There's Blinks. We already got Crash Bandicoot back, right? Didn't we? Yeah.
You only get to choose one.
Yeah.
Oh, one? Oh,
he's choosing
okay.
all of
Sweet
them.
Jesus.
Choose one?
I will give you two.
Oh, my bad.
But I need you to be efficient, sir.
Oh, I'm just saying bring them all back because I want to play them all. But either way, but for me, a mascot, you all know the answer is Doom Guy. I love Doom Guy. That's my man. So I'll stick with Doom.
He's not even Activision Blizzard, but anyway.
Oh wait, Activision. Oh, you talking about Activision Blizzard?
I'll give you one more opportunity to try this.
I thought you were talking, since you mentioned Bethesda, that you were going to include that. Mascot from Activision Blizzard? Oh, damn.
Good Lord, give me my patience.
Yeah, I don't know. Seriously.
Okay,
Oh, Lord.
anyway, let's head to our landing.
Oh,
So,
Lord, wait.
Captain, are you ready?
Blizzard.
Most
Mascot.
absolutely. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off this live stream. On behalf of Xbox International, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip. We look forward to seeing you on board next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I leave you with our co-pilot, Crazy Louie, for the outros.
Oh, man, it's time to end the show. But before I end the show, guess what, guys? Chat voted, and I have to complete it. Guys, I have to do my feat of strength. Do I have permission from you guys to do it real quick?
Go ahead.
If
Alright.
it's what the chat
Yeah.
wanted, then...
Yep,
all
they
right.
voted yes. Here we go, chat. This is for you. All right.
Also,
First
just
things
as
first,
a quick...
go the sword and say, by the
Can you
power
mute
of XBI,
Oh, dear Lord.
I have the power. Let's go and lit this baby up. And again,
Why did the chat approve this?
it's not a soft mattress.
Chat, I want you
Just in
all to
case, it's
know
not a soft
this
mattress.
is
Let's go and
a
do it, baby.
cardboard
Here we go,
mattress and foam mattress.
Here we go.
It's a blow up.
Yes.
Yep. How much you want? 1, 2, 3.
Look at that.
Four,
That's
five.
clearly a,
Yeah, baby.
That's
look
not
at that.
even-
10,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you
Poor
go.
form. I don't know. Chuck Norris wouldn't even give that a 5 out of 10. Come on.
So yeah, let's get back to the outros, guys.
Oh, that was incredible. Oh my God.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Wow.
I'm so
Um,
thrilled. You know what? I'm not gonna sleep well tonight because of how shook I was.
Mind blowing.
What?
It was mind blowing.
Oh, I told you I was strong enough. So guys, let's start with our outros. Let's start with you, my brother Sablo. Tell everybody where they can find you and let me drink some water because I'm tired.
Well, you can find me Sourflow in Twitter, Sourflow18 in Twitter, also on Xbox, and also on YouTube, which I have a new project coming out. Actually, this week, I have an introduction video that it's gonna explain a little bit more what what my project is and what I'll be uploading to the channel. So please subscribe, and also subscribe to this channel, of course. I'm here every Wednesday, 7 p.m., hanging out with the crazy one and hanging out with our Captain Silent. So yeah, I'll pass it to the next person.
All right, Mr. Silent Cypher, our handsome captain, the one who loves that what's it called? Smoker grill. He's gonna keep on cooking all weekend. Seriously, I never met a man who just takes pictures of that smoker. And I just love how it looks. He's always keeping it nice and shiny. Literally, it's all over his Twitter. Cypher, tell everybody where they can find you, brother.
Crazy. Well, thank you for that lovely little bit of word artistry right there. And yeah, you know what? My OCD, just like when I'm doing the Power Wash Simulator, it comes right out into full effect when I'm cleaning that smoker because I'm just too OCD. But if you want to see some of my OCD nature, if you want to follow me, if you want to see some of my shenanigans online, you can find me on Twitter, Xbox, Instagram, anywhere like PlayStation, YouTube, etc. I'm always at Silent Cypher. But more importantly, you can find me right here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with these two fantastic gentlemen on Xbox International, the Crazy Louie Gaming Network.
Oh, real quick before we go to crazy, Fridays we do community night, so everyone's welcome to join us and play. So it's at Twitch, Xbox _International. Or you can just hit
Yes,
us
so
out in Twitter
and we'll make sure to share it, obviously, going into that day. But yes, please do join us. Obviously, especially as we're going into like the escape room and stuff. If you guys join us, the more we get people involved in that, I think the more fun it's going to be.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
please,
that is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
and
so-
please do not let Sour blow in the controls. If you guys let him, he's gonna get you all
Crazy
killed.
quiet. We did pretty good silent.
Yeah,
mm.
yeah. You know, since you were absent, I don't think your opinion counts this week.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up, huh, champ?
Okay. Thank you for again bullying Louis. That's hashtag stop bullying Louis. Well, guys, where you can find the crazy one, y'all can find me at Crazy Louis Gaming Twitter. Also, you can find me here every single Wednesday with my brother Silent Cypher and Sour, which is Jokes Blow, every single Wednesday on Xbox International 7 p.m. at the Crazy Louis Gaming YouTube channel. Chat, you guys rocked. You guys kept it going. Thank you so much for joining up this week, and thank you so much for enjoying the show. And yes, I completed my challenge. Thank you guys. Now they will call me He Louie as He-Man, the Masters of the Universe. All right. Well, guys, like I always say, remember. Let's go. Let's rock and let's get crazy. Yes. See y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the XBI Podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe on the way out. We'll see you next time.